This is a video to show briefly how to process your bones after you have made a first round of bone broth. I have a video on how to make the bone broth, so watch that. This is what you do after. It's taking me like a couple hours, so didn't think of making a video before. But this is the fat that's floating on the top, and I basically use my hands to kind of scoop it out because it's pretty liquidy compared to what it would be normally. And I use that to kind of separate it out from the bone broth. So what I'm doing here is kind of boiling out the liquid so just the fat's left behind, because inevitably a little bit of liquid comes with it. Usually there's the bone broth that I bagged, and there's the other one from these wild bones that I got for free. I bagged and I'm freezing for using later. For whatever reason, the fat from these bones is like really liquidy on top, even though I let it cool down. A lot of times it'll get like super hard, and you can just basically pull it off and scrape off with your fingers the broth, which is really gelatiny. So when that happens, great. This time it didn't, so I'm just boiling out the water on warm, or the broth, liquidy stuff. And when it stops bubbling like that is when I know all the liquid is boiled out. I'm doing it on super low temp so it doesn't burn the oil, which even if the oil's burned, it's still good. I eat it still, I still use it, it's fine. But you know, it's nicer to have it not burnt. So then I get these bones and I break off the ends, and sometimes the end just falls off like this did, and then you can just take a butter knife and scrape. This one I didn't do it, but see that? I would just take the butter knife right into here, and just, this comes right off. So you can just scrape it even with your nail. And then push out, like I scrape as much of that as I can because it's kind of gritty. So it's not as fun to eat. And then I'll get this, or my finger, pinky if it's, and I'll just push the marrow, the bone marrow out, so it'll come out like this in nuggets. So this is like fatty greatness that's super nutritious and good for you. I also pull off the meat. I'm gonna rinse that bone off my finger because I try to keep the grittiness off of the meat, which, you know, inevitably some always gets on. This is just a meat that came off the bones in some of the broth because I want to make like meaty soup, and then, you know, some of the fat inevitably comes with it. So save the meat. This is actually broth that I brewed for like 2 days, I think. It was probably best to take the meat off after the first like 24 hours of brewing, because after that the bones are really super brittle and fall apart like really easy, and so then, you know, you're gonna have better meat as far as like less grit and stuff. Like, how do I show this? Well, this is a bad example, but some of the bones are really hard, some of them are super soft. But yeah, I mean, they just fall apart. They literally are releasing minerals into the minerals that make up their structure into the broth. So the reason why I put such emphasis on bone broth is because you can get bones like really cheap to free. These bones are wild game bones, so I don't unfortunately know what it came from because I forgot to ask. They either came from like a moose, caribou, reindeer, elk, all the varieties of wild game that they hunt. And this particular company, Indian Valley Meats, I think, in Anchorage, or just outside of Anchorage, processes, from my understanding, processes the game meat for hunters, and then they also sell it. But you know, like, unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize the value in the bones, so they just give the bones to like the dogs or just throw it away. So we got it for free. They gave it to us for free, which is really freaking cool because there's like an enormous amount of value in this. So say you're like so poor and you can't afford to even buy meat. If you just consumed the bone broth, you know, with the fatty nuggets and the meat that comes off the bone, which, trust me, on these bones, they did not leave much behind. Well, you don't need to trust me. I'll show you in the freezer. There's not much meat on there, but this eaten every day is going to give you superior health for free. The water I used to put in the look at this. I mean, it's stripped down to the nothings. It's good, you know. They wanted to keep as much of their meat as possible. But the water I use is snow melt water, just off of the cliff from the snow that's coming that melts off the mountain here in Anchorage and goes into Anchorage, Alaska, and goes into the ocean. So free superior water, free superior bones. Then I've got this fatty goodness in the save. And, you know, right now it's super covered in snow. But in spring, when things start to grow, there's wild plants that are edible. You fry them and prepare them correctly, okay? And then fry them in this oil. You are going to have a superior physical body and health from absolutely free things. Even the richest person would benefit from doing this, but you know, we work our rear ends off and we're exhausting ourselves, which is killing our vibration, our natural state of being, our joy, which is our joy, right? We are naturally intended to be in a dominant state of joy. And when we lose that, we get sick and we're in pain. And therefore, what we're putting out in the world is coming from a place of sickness and pain, not from joy and love and happiness. So my intention with what I'm doing is to spread more love and joy to the planet, because I believe that's happy, joyful people go out in the world and do great, wonderful things, which makes our world a greater, more wonderful place to be in. People that are healthy and happy are not abusing their children, they're not abusing their spouses, they're not abusing their neighbor, any of their fellow men. They're not all that eager to go to war. and blow up entire cities, entire countries. We are probably going to be more likely to go out in the world and resolve any discrepancies with a more peaceful and patient solution. So, you know, whether you're the poorest person or the richest person, you being in a dominant state of joy and having superior health, go out and walk in this snow. You can't buy snowshoes. You can get them like super cheap used, actually. And most poor people I know can afford cell phones, they can afford cigarettes, alcohol, you know, all manner of variety of junk foody things. Well, get yourself some free bones and take that money you're going to use on the Cheetos and shit and go get yourself some very cheap snowshoes and go walk in this. If you can't afford that, make some. You can make that somehow. I've never made it, but you can. And occupy your time doing healthy activities that build your strength, so that maybe you can go out and do things in the world that make the world a more wonderful place, because you're going to feel more wonderful. It's really, really so simple to maintain your physical, emotional, and spiritual health and strength. And if you've lost it, look at that cute sun poking through. Where is it? Where is it? I guess it's right there. I can't see just good in the camera. If you have gotten yourself to broken, you can fix that. You know, I see drastic improvement in people just by doing the things that I'm recommending within a matter of days. With like basically instantly, you take that first bite of real food, that bone broth that you put some, what is it called? OMG, like my brain flew. Lamb's quarters, which is like a wild variety of spinach, prepared correctly. Please make sure you inquire as to how to do that and follow those instructions. Otherwise, you are going to be hurting yourself with, even if it is spinach. It needs to be prepared correctly, or you can give yourself kidney stones and all variety of terrible stuff. But free superior food, you put one bite of that in your mouth and you can instantly feel greatness flowing through your entire being. It is evident, and it is evident immediately. It is creation given, God given, whatever you want to call it, given. It's free and it's your birthright. So go out and get it, and let's make ourselves joy fueled so that we can go out and spread joy to the world. Peace out. Love ya. Mwah.